Hello everyone, and welcome back to this podcast where we aim to answer fun and interesting questions in the same amount of time it would take you to take a doom scroll break on TikTok. Before we get started, I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Chad, aka Children and Adults with Attention Deficit or Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. It focuses on people with ADD and ADHD and is a nonprofit dedicated to helping individuals, families, and educators better understand how attention influences our everyday lives through education, advocacy, and support. Based on this nonprofit, I'm sure you can all tell that the topic of today's video is attention, and we're going to get started on this topic by talking about Goldfish. Not the snack, but rather the myth that states that due to things like social media, humans now have an attention span shorter than that of a goldfish. Though not backed by research, a goldfish attention span is said to be about 8 seconds. Thankfully for humans, our attention span is longer than that. In fact, an article by Bradbury and Co. released in 2016 describes our attention as a very fluctuating thing. Rather than simply ceasing to pay attention, we switch our attention between various things based on our environment and our own personal goals. To better understand this, we're going to talk about attention itself and how attention span came to be a highly discussed topic in today's society. According to an article by Yantis and Co. released in 2008, attention is a very selective process. We're constantly choosing what to focus on and what to ignore or filter out, so our attention essentially works as a spotlight, highlighting the things that we want to pay attention to, and allowing us to ignore the other things. Now, this was something that became more talked about due to the introduction of television in our everyday society, specifically the show Sesame Street. The introduction of things like bright cuts, constant incoming stimuli, and highlighted visuals caused people, especially younger viewers, to almost expect changes or the requirement of task switching. So switching the thing that you're paying attention to at a very rapid pace. An article by Newman released in 2010 describes this very well by saying that in modern society, we've developed a snack culture when it comes to attention. Essentially, we expect to consume bite-sized, entertaining, and informational content or pieces of information that are designed to quickly grab our attention before we start paying attention to something else and lose interest. Social media is something that has capitalized on this phenomenon by promoting things like short-form content and hooks that immediately grab your attention for those 90 seconds that they're trying to tell you something. So snack culture is essentially a very apt way to describe it. Social media has also been associated with shorter attention span or the reduced ability to pay sustained attention to one thing, according to recent studies such as one released by Hussein and Co. in 2024. It's not that we've suddenly lost the ability to pay attention, but we've developed different attentional habits due to the environment around us. We've become really good at quickly scanning, skimming, and then switching our attention to different things. It's kind of like when you suddenly have 47 tabs open on your computer and you're trying to quickly find the one that's playing music. So we have grown so accustomed to this kind of practice in our everyday lives that it has influenced our general attention span, though not so much our overall capability. It's essentially influenced our habits, like I said earlier, when it comes to paying attention. So it's more accurate to say that our attention has adapted to our current society. So rather than saying that our attention span is that of a goldfish, it's more so just that our attention span and our attentional habits, I keep saying this word, is different from, say, people who were growing up 50 years ago. Technology hasn't really destroyed our ability to pay attention, but it has reshaped it in various ways. In a world that is constantly trying to pull our attention in different directions, we have adapted to rapidly alternate and rapidly filter out information that we determine to either be uninteresting or unimportant to our current goals. So next time you're sitting in lecture, just know that it would probably be easier for you to focus on your lecture if you didn't have your phone right next to you tempting you with highlighted notifications that are popping up on your screen. Thank you for listening, and if you made it this far, congratulations! Your attention span is longer than that of a goldfish.